Rockford's Home for Classic Rocks, 96.7 The Eagle. Good morning, it's Double T. Joining me, special guest, Doug Gray, the lead singer and founding member of Marshall Tucker Band. Doug, how you doing this morning?
Hey, having a great time, man. Just continuing on doing what I do for a living. Believe it or not, it's still all fun. It's still all good. And I'm recovering from a couple of dates. We've been playing with Skinner about 40 dates this year. Going in, also we've been out with Charlie Daniels a whole lot. But the good thing, and Kid Rock, of course, and we don't know where we're supposed to do next, but we always go. Okay, it's fun doing what we're doing, and we look forward to everything. But I'm sitting here just having fun doing interviews today.
If I would have said to you way back in the day when you're getting started with Marshall Tucker that someday you're going to be doing a concert on a boat, would you have believed it?
Well, a lot of times, first of all, I get seasick. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Second of all, no, I wouldn't have even considered it. And the reason for it is we didn't have boats like that back then. You know, I had my opportunity to go to Vietnam in a boat, and I said, no, let's see if we can find a different way. So they put a whole bunch of us on an airplane. No, I never would have imagined, because I told them I got seasick. But then the doctors came out with that patch put behind your ear, and then, man, all of a sudden I'm playing them and playing 4 hours on the boat when you're only supposed to play an hour. You know, I mean, this was a change up for us because we've been doing this now almost for 8-10 years. You know, started out one with Skinner, and then we ended up here with where they're ending up with a cruise, and I don't know what they got a few dates after that, I believe. But it's going to be fun. It's always good when you're playing on the boat. It really is, because people can, this is one time that I can go sit on the boat, and I've done this every time. My bar tab is kind of high, okay, but that's okay too. But I enjoy buying everybody a drink that has bought and paid a lot and paid money to go on those boats to see us and to see all those other bands. And if they hang out with us, they're going to end up seeing a whole bunch of bands jam together. And that's my primary goal, because that's what we used to be 40-something years ago.
I'm talking to Doug Gray from the Marshall Tucker Band. They're playing the 2019 Southern Rock Cruise, and this is such a unique experience, not only for the fans, but for the bands, too. You guys get to hang out on a boat all together for several days, where a lot of times you guys are just crossing paths here and there, and now you get to hang out with all your friends.
Right, and we get in the cruiser there, and they're hanging out on the boat, and we get to go to a couple stops, Progresso, and I forget Cozumel, I believe. And I'm not really sure where it's going to stop because I hadn't paid attention. But I know that when we get on the boat, we usually have a cocktail night the night before, some at one hotel before we all get on the boat. And then when we get on the boat, we go right straight to the deck if you don't have to play right then. And we go to the deck, and then it's not just one or two of us. There's 3,600 people on there, and you get to know those 3,600 people. Plus, you got a captive audience if you're out in the middle of the water, okay? But everybody gets to know you personally. That unless you want to stay in the room by yourself or whatever, but I get to know us personally, which is very important to me, because most of my friends, and I think I attribute a lot to the following of our band, which is huge, and the fact that they're still buying, and downloading records for Marshall Tucker Band. I'm amazed that these guys are not just old people, and young people and middle-aged people. The young people are 16 to 27 years old that are coming to see us. That's amazing. And when we played down, I think we did the thing with Kid Rock the first of the year, and there was like 28,000 people. We did that thing down there with Leonard Skinner in Jacksonville, and there was 58,000, and all in the big stadium. And those kids loved us just like they had been knowing us forever. Some of them had never heard us. which made it even more fun. Because we was just wanting to kick ass. That's simple as it was, and we did. And that's what we do. And no matter how old I am, I still feel good about it. I go out there and I rock myself to death,
What was it in the beginning that brought you to music?
Oh, God. This is going to freak you out a little bit. Parking lots, some of the old Sears parking lots used to have, for entertainment on a Friday night and to draw people into the store, I guess. And they'd have a flatbed truck, just like going down the road. They'd put a band on it. The band had a little bitty speakers and hardly any microphones. You got to think about the time period of time it was. I heard a band get up there, and I heard this guy singing, and I heard the whole band playing. And my mom and dad had taken me out. I was like 7 or 8 years old. They'd taken me out, and they let me listen to this band. And my mom liked music a whole lot. My dad could care less. And, but he still helped me. He come up with some great lines about it. But I listened to this guy, and he was singing, and every time he would sing, the girls would go, "Yay!" And so I said, "Well, this is the trip I got to go on. This is the way I've got to work." I had no idea at 7 years old that's what it was. Then about 9 or 10 years old, Elvis came out, and I had a couple of aunts that have recently died, but they were sitting in a place just like American Graffiti, the movie. Okay, and they told me, this is probably more information than you need, but they told me, instead of me standing around with them being that age, what they'd do is they'd give me a nickel, and I'd go put it in the jukebox, and I'd stand over there and imitate the song.
Nice.
Okay, so I realized that, I could be put away, or they could get me out. They could get me out of there by paying me a little bit of money. And so all through life and then coming out of Vietnam, me and Toy had been before we went to Vietnam. Okay. Come back from Vietnam, I took a job in a bank, and then he took a job working with his dad, master plumber. And I think George actually made tea. I'm not sure. The false teeth stuff. And so we all had jobs. They had families, and they had wives and stuff. And then we continuously said, well, let's get us a place and get us a band together and give one last shot. So this one last shot has resulted in 48 years later, I'm sitting here talking to you.
And it's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Ooh, you have no idea. I wish I could tell you all the stories that really matter and not the ones that were fun, okay? Because the ones that are fun, that could go on for weeks, okay? But us signing that first label deal and going down there with Phil Walden and him signing us and wanting to hear that stuff. We played on Saturday night, and we signed our contract Monday afternoon after they drew it up. And then 4 years we stayed on the road opening for the Allman Brothers at some of their peaking high times. And so we got out in front of a lot of people. Those people, we created a lot of great friends. We created a lot of good stuff, and a lot of people had memories of that. Well, they had to stop having those memories. They kept the memories, but they had to let their kids grow up, so they couldn't come to concerts. Now those people are bringing their grandkids to the concerts because it's the kind of place that we're playing. A lot of us were playing bars a long time ago, and now it's turned into something bigger than what anybody could ever expect. And as I said, I don't know that I said it to you, but I just signed at 70 years old another 5-year contract with the second largest company there is, APA, and Red Light Management, and they handle big boys. They don't play around. And I don't know why they wanted us, except for they saw us out in California at Stagecoach, and they said, you've just drawn more people into your place, to your event tent, and this was about 15,000 people. Y'all drew more people there than some of the people just got hits, because they've got 5 or 6 different places that bands could play. So we had a conversation, and I decided and made a decision that, I wanted the band, we all have ups and downs, and we had kind of not a dry spell because we were still playing. But we had ups and downs, and it just became, this is a up period, and I'm not going to let it fall away.
Saw you several times at the Full Throttle Saloon in Sturgis, which is always a good time.
Oh, yeah, that's good. And then we just played the Chip last year, and that turned out to be, that was overwhelming, quite honestly. And I say that because we had young kids and we had the older crowd that follows us around because that's what they do and that's what we do. But, you know, I love the Buffalo Chip a lot. And I have history almost back. I've been going there for 38 years. So, you know, and it's back before they had roads and tents down through there.
Oh, yeah.
And now they've got buildings and, you know, it's all really a commercial thing, but it's also very personal. You go out there and you're creating part of history, and that's what I'm all about. I'm
talking to Doug Gray, the founding member and lead vocalist for Marshall Tucker Band. You got the cruise coming up. What else is coming up? More dates with Skinnerd?
Oh, yeah. We go back out, and I think we've got about 4 or 5 more shows with them. Then they got to go to Canada and out of the country, and some of my guys can't go through to Canada, and I'm not going to say why, but, you know, you can probably figure it out on your own. But some of them can't go, and those are the breaks. And so I'll stay out of Canada and won't go to Europe for a while. But we did go to Iraq, and that was 2 days before they got the main man over there. So, you know, took him out. And me being a Vietnam sergeant is very important to take my guys back over there. They learned a lesson, and I learned a lesson that I won't do it again unless it's really called for, because it brought back too many memories for me.
Well, thank you so much for your service, too. Veterans Day is just around the corner, and thank you for all the great music and all the great memories that you've brought us through the years.
Well, thank you very much for keeping us alive up here in Rockford, okay?
Doug Gray from the Marshall Tucker Band. Go check him out on the Southern Rock Cruise. It's Rockford's home for classic rock, 96.7, The Eagle.